In music, we have three different components, and all are equally important. We have the melody, we have harmony, and we have rhythm. Melody is a sequence of single musical notes. If you're a vocalist, you are recreating the melody of each specific song with your voice, which is your instrument. The second part of music, what we call harmony, is a combination of two or more melodic notes. So that is when we combine all of these notes into what we call chords. If you happen to know what it is to do a backup harmony for a lead voice, then this is also what we are doing as instrument players, what we're doing with our guitar, with our piano, and so on. Now the third part of it is the rhythm, which is a group of sounds of different durations that create patterns. We're going to dive a little deeper into rhythm in music. So most of our contemporary music, we're using a specific time signature that we recognize by, you can count it. We usually hear it by the drums, who are kind of like our guide, and we definitely use it with a click coming from a metronome, which is keeping us hold count of every particular song, part of the song. Most of the songs that we're doing are doing a count of 4, some are doing a count of 3, or even a count of 6. Those are kind of the main counts that we have in special segments of the song that we call measure. So if we were to have a song that's doing a 4 count, every time we count to 4, that is one single measure, and then we go on to the next one and the next one and the next one. Every song has different amount of measures depending on how long, how short the song is. The easiest way to get a visual of a measure is typically by what we call a slash notation. Now, as you see the example here, each slash is telling us a specific beat during the measure. And that's why in one measure, in this case of the song My Testimony, each measure has a total of 4 beats, and those are the slashes we see. Similar to this, in our playback app that we use here at City Life, you also see the slashes and the segments in each single measure of the verse, of the chorus, of the introduction, and so on and so on. So if you see the example here, we're doing the chorus of My Testimony, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and you can hear and see the count of 4 within each single measure. So this should give you an idea on when exactly we come in. Now, a key component of the rhythm section in every single song are the music figures. Music figures are used to describe what type of rhythm we are trying to produce in a specific moment in time. We use this all the time, whether we're playing an instrument or we're singing. Even when I'm speaking, I am using musical figures. The first one up is a whole note. A whole note is a note that I can sing or play, and the duration of it, in this specific example that we're using a 4 count, is going to last for all 4 beats. So in this case, I have in my key of C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Note how I am keeping this note pressed and I am elongating it to keep the sound going by 4 beats. I can also sing it do, do, and it's covering my whole measure. But again, I'm using a count of 4, so it's covering a whole measure. So in one single measure, all I need is 1 whole beat. The next one up is a half note, which is half of a quarter note, and in this case, it's only adding up to 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, in this case, in one single measure, I can have 1 whole note, or I can have 2 half notes. The next one up is something we're going to call a quarter note. It's another musical figure. And this quarter note is only going to value 1 single beat. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, in one single measure, I can have 4 quarter notes. And the next one I'll show you is what we call an eighth note, which is half a beat. So in this case, we're going to have eight notes within one single measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now to show you this a little better, I'm going to add a metronome click so that on top of this click, we can now play different type of musical figures, which is essentially what we're doing in every single song we play or sing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a whole note. Now a half note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to slow down my tempo to show you a little better what a quarter note or an eighth note should sound like. Slowing it down to 78, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. These are quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last but not least, I have my eighth note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These eighth notes that I just mentioned allow us to get a different perspective on something we call the upbeat and the downbeat. Oftentimes, especially if you're a singer, we're trying to keep a count in your head as to when exactly do we come in. Sometimes the band can come in on beat number 1, but you as a singer are coming in on beat number 2 or beat number 3. But essentially, these eighth notes tell us that now there are different beats. There is a beat between the 1 and the 2, and it's something we count as a downbeat. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's essentially the same eighth notes that I was telling you before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But in this case, we use and to make it a little more simple to hear the difference between the upbeats and the downbeats. So sometimes you might hear the drums or you might hear the piano doing a specific arrangement on an upbeat while you're singing on a downbeat or while you're playing on a downbeat. So the combination of the upbeats and the downbeats is what makes our music sound the way it sounds like. So again, I can have my count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or I can have my upbeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I put them together 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is useful because now that we know this, we can practice our music and our songs, and as we're rehearsing, we can determine exactly when it is that we come in. As especially singers, when do you come in each measure, and when do you stop singing in each measure? That way, as a band, we collectively sound a little more cohesive, and we begin and we end playing on specific measures. The last thing in this rhythm section is a place to write our musical figures. It doesn't only have to do with notations, in this case a slash notation that we recently reviewed, but in classical music and music in general, we write our musical figures on something we call the grand staff. As you're seeing here on the screen, it's divided by two different sections. We have what we call the treble clef and the bass clef. And this is really what determines where it is that we are singing or playing our notes. If you take a bass, for instance, a bass's notes will be always in the bass clef. For most singers, male singers, baritones and bass singers, our notes are going to fall more on this bass clef. Whereas for female singers, whether it be altos or sopranos, most of your notes are landing on the treble clef, which is higher. Now, it's on top of this grand staff, whether it be the treble clef or the bass clef, which is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces, that we can write our musical figures, whether it be whole notes or quarter notes, and we can divide it by measures depending on what it is that we're trying to sing or what it is that we're trying to play. In this case, like I mentioned, the slash notation, each measure is having a count of 4, so we can add accordingly to what we see. Another thing we can add on our grand staff that is not rhythmic is what we call our musical notes, which we're going to come up with in our next video regarding melody.